guys, welcome back to my channel. I am back with another review. This review is for Basketball Wives Orlando Season 1, Episode 1. So if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. This episode was actually really entertaining, so let's just get right into this review. Mehgan James is a part of this season of Basketball Wives Orlando. She was on Basketball Wives LA, but most people know her from season 9 of the Bad Girls Club. That's where I first learned about Mehgan. I wasn't a big fan of her at the beginning of her season, but once the season was coming to a close, I actually liked her, and the reunion changed my mind about her. So I'm not like a fan of Mehgan, but I like her just because she was on Bad Girls Club. Now, at the beginning of this episode, Mehgan ends up meeting up with Shawnee to get some advice on how to build friendships with the other basketball wives. And Shawnee's advice was to be neutral and not get involved in issues that the ladies may have with each other. And the reason why she said this was because Mehgan is new to Orlando and she doesn't know the history that these ladies have with each other. So it would be best for her to stay out of it. But I can tell that Shawnee doesn't really know Mehgan that well because Mehgan is messy, okay? Mehgan is messy. Mehgan is a mean girl. She is going to take sides. She's going to stir the pot. Although Mehgan can back up her messiness, so that's one of the things that I like about her, because at least if you're going to be messy, you should be able to handle what's going to come your way because of being messy, and Mehgan can absolutely handle it. Now, Morgan is one of the women who will be a part of this season. She is in the beauty industry and she has 3 children with her ex-husband, Eric. Now, according to Morgan, their divorce was really messy because of Eric's infidelity, and that's going to play a part in this episode a lot. Ashley Snell is also a part of this season. She is the wife of Tony Snell, and they've been married for 2 years, and they have 2 children together. Now, just like Morgan, Ashley is a businesswoman. She owns her own clothing store, and she has her own clothing line. Ashley and Morgan used to be really close friends, and then they ended up falling out. According to Morgan, Ashley was bringing women around her husband for him to sleep with while he was on the road. Now, Ashley denies this. She claims that she just had her friends around, and Morgan's now ex-husband was contacting these women on his own. She says that she has nothing to do with him cheating. Now, if I was Morgan, I wouldn't be cool with Ashley anymore either, because what she did isn't cool. But at the same time, Ashley does not have control over what Morgan's husband chooses to do. And even if there were women around him, that doesn't mean that he shouldn't be able to control himself. It's his job to honor their marriage. Then there's Neek and Mackenzie. They're connected because Neek is now dating Mackenzie's ex-boyfriend, Dwayne, who is also the father of Mackenzie's son. It's probably a little awkward for the two of them to be around each other so often because of the show, but the two of them do seem to get along pretty well, and they're very cordial with one another, although I don't think that that's going to last very long. Mehgan decided to put together a brunch for all the ladies to come together because she really wanted to get to know everyone, and the only person that she knows that ended up showing up is Neek. The rest of the girls she's not familiar with. Everything seemed to be going well at first, but there was some definite tension between Ashley and Morgan. Ashley ended up bringing her friend Parnia with her because she said she didn't want to be alone, so I'm feeling like Morgan may not be the only person who doesn't like her. Now, Morgan and Ashley kept their distance from each other for the most part, but Morgan seemed a little bit too bothered by Ashley's presence to the point where she wasn't even having a good time. At one point during the brunch, Morgan ends up getting up to get a drink from the bar, and she claims that Ashley's friend Parnia gave her a dirty look. Now, when she goes up to Parnia to confront her, Parnia denies that she gave her any type of look. She actually said that she didn't even look in Morgan's direction. And honestly, I don't believe that Parnia gave Morgan a dirty look. I think that Morgan just wanted an excuse to go over to where Ashley was at because she wanted to get into an argument with her because she was bothered by Ashley's presence from the moment that she showed up to the brunch. Now, during this back and forth between Morgan and Parnia, Ashley ends up jumping into the conversation and telling Morgan that she needs to calm down and stop trying to bring drama to the event on purpose. And this really pisses off Morgan. She already doesn't like Ashley, so hearing Ashley try to tell her that she needs to calm down made her even more mad. So she ends up putting her hand up in Ashley's face. Now, Ashley ends up pushing Morgan's hand because she doesn't want it in her face, obviously, and that makes Morgan even more mad to the point where she ends up putting both her hands in Ashley's face. So Ashley ends up taking both her hands and she tries to push Morgan's hands out of her face, and the two of them are basically having this struggle. Now, they end up getting broken apart because I think if it would have lasted any longer, the two of them would have ended up getting into a physical fight. Now, after watching this fight between Ashley and Morgan, I wasn't sure how to feel about Morgan because I like her and I think that she's pretty, but at the same time, I feel like she allows Ashley to control too many of her emotions. And then on top of that, I just don't know how to feel about Ashley either. Like, she has this persona like nothing gets under her skin and she's just calm, cool, and collected, but at the same time, I get a really shady vibe from her. I feel like she likes to throw rocks and hide her hand. Now, in this episode, Mackenzie and Neek end up having a one-on-one conversation, and Mackenzie wants to make sure that there's no issues between the two of them. Now, although Neek says that she doesn't have any issues with Mackenzie anymore, she does have an issue with the fact that the two of them got off on the wrong foot. She says that when she first got involved with Dwayne, who is Mackenzie's ex-boyfriend and the father of her child, she said that Mackenzie, accused her of being a homewrecker. Mackenzie admits that she was wrong for assuming that Neek was a homewrecker because Neek did say that Dwayne was not honest with her and he did not tell her that he was still with Mackenzie while she was dealing with him. And Mackenzie understood that because she understands that a lot of men do lie and he was lying to her as well. So she believes that Neek had no idea that they were still together at the time. And I like the way that this interaction went because a lot of the times we see women, go at each other and start fighting over a guy. And I like that they were able to put their differences aside and understand where the other is coming from. Now, I don't know if Neek is telling the truth. I don't know if she knew that Dwayne and Mackenzie were still together when she was dealing with him, but I have to take her word for it. Mulan Hernandez and Lindsay Marble are also a part of this season, and the two of them end up going out to eat with Mehgan, Morgan, Mackenzie, Neek, and Mehgan's friend Nikki. Now, things end up getting really messy when Lindsay, who is pregnant, ends up putting Mehgan on blast. She says in front of the whole group that Mehgan has something to say to Morgan. Now, Mehgan was pissed, I could tell, because she didn't want to say this in front of the group. I know that she wanted to address this with Morgan by herself, but Mehgan does end up telling Morgan that she did go on 2 dates with her ex-husband, Eric, and that she had no idea that Eric was with Morgan at the time. And, Morgan handled this pretty well. I thought that she was going to flip out because that's the way that we've seen her so far in this episode. But she said that everything came out during their divorce. So she already knew that Mehgan went on 2 dates with him. And that despite the fact that Mehgan went on 2 dates with him, she still wants to get to know Mehgan. Mulan ends up telling Morgan in front of everybody that she didn't know what to think of her at first because of what other people were saying about her, but once she was put in the same position as Morgan was by Ashley, she stated that she understood why Morgan was acting the way that she did. Now, Mackenzie feels uncomfortable at this point because she realizes that she's the only one at the table who's actually friends with Ashley, and she felt really bad that Ashley was not there to defend herself, which I would have felt uncomfortable too because if I'm friends with somebody, I don't want to sit there at a table where everybody's bashing them. Everyone was coming down kind of hard on Mackenzie because of her friendship with Ashley, which I didn't think was fair because Mackenzie has nothing to do with what Ashley did to them. But didn't I tell you that in the beginning of this episode, Mehgan wasn't going to be neutral? She wasn't going to take any of Shawnee's advice. Well, that's exactly what she ended up doing because she ended up leaning over to Mackenzie and telling her that she feels like there's a lot of truth to what the ladies are saying about Ashley because Mehgan did go on a date with Morgan's ex-husband, Eric, twice, but the only people who knew about that was Mehgan and Eric. So how the hell did Mackenzie know about it? So now Mehgan is feeling like Mackenzie knows about it because Ashley knows about it because Ashley must be talking to Morgan's ex-husband, Eric. Now this pisses off Morgan to the point where she feels like she needs to set up a meeting with Ashley. At the very end of this episode, Morgan ends up meeting up with Ashley to question her about her friendship with her ex-husband, Eric. Now, according to Ashley, she's not friends with Eric, but she is friends with his new girlfriend, which is really messy because even if her and Morgan did fall out, they were friends at one point, and so I don't think that it's right that because they fell out, now she's friends with Morgan's ex-husband and his new girlfriend. I just feel like she probably wasn't really Morgan's friend to begin with if this is what she's doing. Finding out that Ashley is actually friends with Eric and his new girlfriend actually really upsets Morgan, and she seems like she's hurt because at the end of the day, her and Ashley were friends at one point, and I can understand why she was feeling the way that she was feeling, but she ends up going off on Ashley, and Ashley gets so upset that she storms off out of the restaurant. Now, Morgan ends up following Ashley out of the restaurant, and she starts telling Ashley that she knows for a fact that she was hooking her ex-husband up with her friends, and Ashley is denying this. She says that it's not true, but Morgan keeps on saying that she found this all out during the divorce. So I'm feeling like how confidently Morgan says this, I feel like there's some truth to what she's saying. So those are my thoughts on this week's episode of Basketball Wives Orlando. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos. And hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you all. And until next time, I will talk to you guys in my next video.